Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to AFK in Minecraft. This will include how to not go idle, which is using this thing right here, and also how to not die, obviously. So here's a few designs and I'm going to be going through them in a little bit, but first here's some materials you can use in these farms and I'll tell you what I've used. So first of all, these are all obviously ways you can get up to the farm. In all of these I have used scaffolding, and on the last one, as you can see, there is no scaffolding. So that last one is designed to be used with elytra, but if you wanted you could always add scaffolding. So next up is non-spawnable blocks, because you don't want any mobs spawning where you are. So non-spawnable blocks, they include glass, slabs, carpets and levers. That's what I've used. I've used all of them in these farms in variation, as you can see. And with slabs, please note that it does have to be a bottom half slab. If it's a top one, they can spawn. And next up is ways to stop you going AFK. All of these I have used a lever, which is what I recommend, but I assume these will work too. But I'd recommend do use a lever, as I know that works. So now, first design, we have basically the bare minimum. Obviously, if it was the actual minimum, you'd probably replace the scaffolding, as that's a bit hard to get with ladders, but that would be a little bit more of a struggle, as you have to then thicken it out by one block. But the bare minimum is this basically, and obviously these slabs also inescapable, so you can't even get out, because they have to be a bottom half slab for you to be able to not have mob spawn. And above your head there is another bottom half slab, so that phantoms cannot attack you, because if you have a block above your head, phantoms just can't hit you. Next up we have a slightly improved design. It's the exact same, but just with corners added like this. And obviously you don't have to use smooth stone slabs, you can just use any slab. And next up, I did use some carpet for this, even though it's basically the same design, except for I've also made the roof a bit bigger. So if you use full blocks and carpet, it still works, because carpet is non-spawnable. And the reason I'm putting the lever on the floor, not on the roof, is because then that stops mobs from spawning still in that spot, because levers are non-spawnable blocks too. Next up we have a glass design. This one looks quite good, and I'd say this is the best one so far, definitely. These are like getting better looking as we go along basically. But again, using a lever to stop you from going up and from getting attacked, and so you don't go idle, and scaffolding to send you up, but you can always use an elytra just to glide in to the place. Next up we have this design, which is, I've just noticed these are the exact same, so ignore that, we'll skip straight over that. And this personally is my favourite design. It uses glass, and it's a very big amount of glass, so you can just, because I always have an elytra obviously, you can just glide in and land on your platform. And then the roof is a tiny bit smaller, which means you can actually jump if you want. And the reason I like to use glass on the bottom rather than slabs or anything like that, it's because it kind of just looks nicer, because it means if your farm is below you, which normally it would be with an AFK spot like this, you can see the farm beneath you. But obviously if you wanted, you could replace, like you could put scaffolding up here, but that isn't needed if you have an elytra, obviously. And that is all of it. Now, how to not go idle. With these levers, if you don't want to go idle, there's a couple ways you can do it. You could, and this is the simplest way probably, is just lean something on your mouse and do that. But that does mean you have to be tabbed in, which is a bit annoying, and it also means that your right click is constantly held down, so it would require a little bit of time to balance something on top of it. Another method is if you install an auto clicker and you set it to a go every few seconds. You can just have your auto clicker do it for you, but again, most auto clickers don't support being on non-open windows, so that means you can't tab out and watch YouTube or anything. So this is the best solution, is I'll link a tutorial in the description for this. It's quite useful. Is you can hold it down, and then if you do F3 and T, the Mojang loading screen will come up, and once it's loaded, if you're holding right click before you do F3 and T, it will just hold right click for you, and that means you can then tab out, and it will let you tab out, which is very useful. So yes, that is everything. That is how to AFK safely. Some of you may think, like, why does this stop phantoms from attacking you? But phantoms can not hit you if you have blocks above their head. They won't just like glide in over here. As long as you've got these blocks above your head, it's fine. And I've used non-spawnable blocks here just because you don't need to necessarily, but it's best to use non-spawnable blocks, especially as AFKing is normally used in a farming situation. So that is everything. I hope you have enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Also, according to YouTube statistics, not enough of you are subscribed, so if you're not already, be sure to subscribe.